The moment Aaron Whitlock saw her name on the blind date card, his chest tightened with an old, stubborn certainty, the kind formed from fear rather than wisdom. The afternoon sun streamed through the cafe windows, warm and forgiving, but inside him there was resistance, judgment, and a belief he had never questioned until that very day. He had always told himself that some lives came with too much history, too much loss, and too much weight for him to carry. He didn't know yet that by sunset, life itself would gently but firmly prove him wrong. Before the story unfolds any further, take a moment to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of compassion, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel Good Soul. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Aaron was a 35-year-old architectural consultant, respected at work and admired for his discipline. His life followed clean lines and predictable structures, much like the buildings he designed. Loss was something he avoided, not because he had never known it, but because he had known it too well when his parents divorced bitterly, leaving him to grow up believing that broken things rarely healed. Over time, this belief hardened into a quiet rule he lived by. He chose simplicity. He chose control. And he chose not to get involved with anyone whose past carried visible scars. Across the cafe sat Mara Ellison, her hands gently wrapped around a mug of tea that had long gone untouched. She was 32, a landscape illustrator who spent her days sketching parks, trees, and light filtering through leaves. Her life had been forever changed 4 years earlier when her husband passed away unexpectedly, leaving her not only widowed but learning how to exist in a world that suddenly felt too loud and too fast. Yet she had learned to move forward, slowly and with grace, finding beauty in small things and strength in surviving another ordinary day. The blind date had been arranged by mutual acquaintances who believed that sometimes people who least expect connection are the ones who need it most. Aaron noticed Mara's calm presence, the way she observed the world rather than demanding attention from it. He also noticed the faint weariness behind her eyes, the kind that comes from having loved deeply and lost profoundly. Instead of softening him, it unsettled him. He told himself that grief lingered forever, that loving someone like her meant inheriting sadness, comparisons, and memories he could never compete with. As the afternoon passed, something unexpected happened. Without realizing it, Aaron found himself watching Mara closely, noticing how she smiled at a child dropping crumbs on the floor, how she listened to the cafe musician playing near the window, how she seemed fully present in each small moment. There was no heaviness in her movements, no desperation in her demeanor. Instead, there was quiet resilience, the kind built not from ease, but from survival. Outside the cafe, a sudden commotion broke the gentle rhythm of the day. A cyclist lost control, crashing near the sidewalk. Without hesitation, Mara stood up and rushed toward the injured man, kneeling beside him, speaking calmly, guiding him to breathe slowly, using the knowledge she had gained from years of hospital visits and emergencies during her late husband's illness. Aaron followed, stunned, watching her hand steady a stranger, her voice offering reassurance without panic. In that moment, he saw something he had never associated with loss before. He saw courage shaped by compassion. The cyclist was helped away, the street returning to its normal hum. But inside Aaron, something irreversible had shifted. He realized that the strength Mara carried did not come despite her past, but because of it. Her love had not disappeared with loss, it had expanded. She had learned how fragile life was, and instead of closing herself off, she had chosen to be gentler with it. As the sun began to lower, casting long golden shadows across the pavement, Aaron felt the uncomfortable truth settle in. His rule had never protected him. It had limited him. By avoiding people with pain, he had avoided depth, growth, and genuine connection. Mara wasn't defined by being a widow. She was defined by empathy, patience, and the rare ability to hold joy and sorrow at the same time. They parted ways that day without promises or expectations, but Aaron walked home differently than he had arrived. He felt humbled, aware that life does not teach lessons through comfort, but through moments that quietly dismantle what we thought we knew. In the weeks that followed, Aaron found himself re-examining his beliefs, his fears, and the walls he had carefully built. He realized that love was not about finding someone untouched by pain, but about recognizing the beauty in those who had faced it and still chose kindness. Mara, in her quiet strength, had changed him without trying, simply by being fully herself. Before this story ends, please pause for a moment and comment below. Share one word that describes how this story made you feel, or tell us about a time when life taught you a lesson you didn't expect. As the daylight faded into evening, Aaron understood something profound. Life does not ask us to judge someone's past. It asks us to meet them where they stand, in the present, with open hearts. And if this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, and engage with this video. Your support means more than you know, and it helps keep stories of compassion, healing, and second chances alive on Good Soul.